behind me is a 1989 325i. It's a 4-door and it was an automatic M20. It's been converted to an M50 manual 5-speed. Now, the thing that's unique about this is this car was actually featured on Bring a Trailer, and it's sold to my customer who ended up giving it to me because he wants it to be perfect. Now we're going to take a quick look at underneath the car. We're going to give it a test drive. We're going to identify what needs to be fixed, how to fix it, and then we're going to show you the final result. So guys, this is going to be like a 2-part series of the rebuild of this 1989 325i. Please join me and enjoy. So as you can see, this thing is in near pristine condition. Looks amazing. And this is the type of customer that I like the most. The ones that want to take a really good quality E30 and they want to perfect it. Now, some of the things that most people wouldn't notice when they look at a car like this that I immediately notice is that molding and the door handles are painted the same color as the car, and that's a huge no from any enthusiast perspective. This hood needs to be repainted, that's for sure. You can see it, there's an AC Snitzer badge on the back, and that's not gonna fly. And we've also got that extra taillight thing going on, which is the extension of the taillight now. I don't really like this, so I'd like to change it to a Euro black plate filler. The antenna does not work. ABS does not work. We got to replace this sunroof gasket, which requires removal of the sunroof itself in order to seal the new gasket on. We're going to put a 1-piece gasket around this instead of the 2-piece that's currently on there. It's a little bit more reliable and it helps to prevent leaks. Idle up for AC does not work. And generally speaking, this thing has a pretty bad drivetrain vibration that I just noticed just by bringing it from outside into the garage. So we're gonna really take a close look underneath to see if there's anything that needs to be done there. Replacing the wheels and tires with something a little bit more classic. Front and rear are going to get redone. We are not going to be upgrading the brakes. There's really no need on this vehicle. The vehicle is not that powerful, so we're not going to really need to upgrade the brakes, but we are going to give it some really good high quality Brembo rotors and pads. There's also a pretty bad smell of gas coming inside, so there's got to be some leak somewhere, so we're going to look underneath on the gas tank as well to see where that leak might be coming from. No notable leaks, that's always good. These sway bar bushings can get replaced, that's for sure. You got some rubber bushings there. I don't know if that quite explains the vibration, at least not yet. Looks like they did an E36 rack conversion, so we'll need to take a look at that, make sure that's nice and tight. But looks like these control arms are pretty old, so we'll end up having to take a look at that. We're gonna need an exhaust hanger here, that's for sure. We're gonna swap this gearing out. This gearing currently is there is no plate for it, but I believe it's a 346. Let me see if it's, Dan, can you spin those tires? Oh, looks like it might be an open. Yep, definitely. So we're gonna be doing a limited slip conversion and we're gonna be doing a gear change on this too, so that'll be great. All right, Dan, why don't you give it a start, see if there's vibration. Yeah, so it's idling really high right now, which is okay. It dies down and slows down after the engine warms up. But you can feel that it's definitely vibrating. It could be this fan here. In fact, it very well could be that fan. We're gonna let it warm up and then see how it acts. All right, let's start it up. Go for a little drive. Yeah, it'll kind of chills out a little bit after you give it a little bit of load. The accelerator pedal is a little hard to push, so we might have to change the bushings on that. Alignment is way off. So one thing you'll notice when you first come into this car is that the interior it looks as good as it smells. It really is absolutely gorgeous in here with the Recaro front seats and the houndstooth stitching in the back. Yeah, this pulls pretty good. steering is a little sloppy, but I don't know if I can attribute that to any type of bushing or tie rods. I checked those and they're pretty solid. And when you don't have the right type of alignment, and the tires are not gonna grip when you come into a turn like it should. So if I give this little turn, yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's driving into the turns like it should. Now, one thing to note here is that this is an OBD2, which is great, because now we can see with INPA some of the smooth running values that I suspect are causing this vibration. It happens when it's cold or warm, but I can hook up INPA and see all 6 cylinders smooth running values to see if there's anything that's going on there. I can look at all the sensors, I can also start swapping coils to see if that changes the smooth running values. I do want to revisit the shifter though. I want to see how those bushings are. Very smooth. Okay, so let's go back and let's start tearing down and start replacing parts and see how things go.
Now, first order of business is removing this catback exhaust, because there is a serious drone going on the highway, but more on replacing this thing later. Second order of business is to replace this open 315 diff with a limited slip module 3-clutch racing diff setup. It's going to make this thing a lot more capable around town and on the highway. It's going to be awesome. He's going to love it.
Okay, so let's spin it. Marked the top. Mark the top. One. We know it's in the threes, so. 2. 3. Oh. Looks like, wow, it looks like it's 3.15 actually. We have now a 293 gear set with the traditional limited slip with the racing diffs 3-clutch setup, and as opposed to the old open version that was here before. And this is a really, really nice, good quality setup here that's going to give him a lot of good traction. Now, as you know, we're going to have, when you spin the input shaft, the output shaft spins in the same direction. Both of the wheels are supposed to spin. That is an indication that you have a limited slip module from the outside. So you can get these on the link below. And the way that it works is it's supposed to protect swapped BMWs from hitting your oil pan on things like curbs or whatever, speed bumps. And the way you install it is you essentially put these 2 holes right here, right where the steering rack installs, so you have to remove them, and then you reinstall with the skid plate in place. And then this side actually installs onto the lower part of the core support. Pretty easy to install, should take you about a half hour, and you do need to, they do provide the hardware, which is really great, but this is pretty exciting. Looking forward to putting this guy on. Look at that beauteous skid plate. Also got the control arms installed. Got to still do the tie rods and the remaining exhaust, and I can put this thing back on the ground.
In the next episode...